afternoon. Hurricane Milton has moved away from us, but there are still lots of details to share regarding future activities. There are some wonderful people who have joined us today. We have Congressman Darren Soto was with us, a couple of our commissioners, Commissioner Wilson, Commissioner Gomez Cordero, and a number of other individuals that are going to speak to us about details regarding this hurricane. To give us more information, starting us off, is Mayor Demings. Mayor?
All right. Good afternoon to all of you. We have come to this point now in time in which the hurricane has now passed. It's clear, typically within Orange County. We fared relatively well compared to the rest of the state of Florida. Our hearts and prayers do go out with those other communities who have may have had worse outcomes than we had here within Orange County. And so as we move forward as a community now as we are in the recovery period of time. We are still assessing damage, but throughout the county there are areas where homes and streets were flooded. We have trees down, we have significant power outages, and likely localized flooding will continue as water begins to move around throughout the region. I had the opportunity earlier today to go out and personally look at some of the areas within our county, and again, generally our county fared well, but there were some areas that had significant flooding. In fact, there were some areas where I saw some damage. When we look around the county, there's about 600 different commercial and other properties where we see some significant damage in those particular areas. There's a lot of partnership going on in the community. I do think our federal partners, Congressman Soto is here with us, and our state partners are here. We have Representative LeBron Bracey Davis, who has joined us, and then our colleagues from the Board of County Commission. Even this morning, I received a phone call from President Joe Biden, who expressed his concern for what Floridians were experiencing, and he expressed his desire to assist us in whatever way possible. So it has been a collaborative effort to get us to this point. We relied on state resources. The Florida Department of Emergency Management has been here within our Emergency Operations Center with us. We've had the Florida Department of Law Enforcement and several other state agencies that have been right here with us. I do appreciate all of the work that they have been doing and supporting this effort. The tropical storm warning was dropped at 11 this morning, but we're still under a wind advisory until 8 p.m. tonight, and Orange County remains under a flood watch for standing water. Over the past few days, 42 tornado warnings were issued in Central Florida with several confirmed touchdowns. We will not know about the extent of the damage until we have the opportunity to go out and further investigate. However, we do know, again, that approximately 600 properties were damaged. In the Ocoee area, Winter Garden area, there are reports of up to 12 inches of rain. I'm going to have our Emergency Operations Center Deputy Director Carlos Durden come up in just a few moments, and he'll share with you some of the details about the impacts that we saw countywide. But this was both a rain and a wind phenomenon for us, and he'll get into those details. But as we move forward, our Emergency Operations Center continues to work 24/7 to ensure that our resources are being marshaled in an appropriate way. In terms of our shelters were certainly used by our residents. We served a total of 325 persons in special needs. Those individuals were in our shelters. I had the opportunity this morning to visit the shelter at Goldenrod. I saw people of various ages and affirmatives who really needed help. It warmed my heart to see our county staff members, our medical personnel, our nurses, and others who were there caring for these individuals within our community. Shortly before noon, our health services crews began checking on the homes of those clients to see if those who registered with us as people with special needs, if they were okay. Links is taking individuals who were at our shelters for people with special needs. They're beginning to take them back to their homes and other places. We are in the process now of closing special needs shelters with the exception of the one at the Silver Star Recreation Center, which will remain open tonight. Many of those who stayed at our general population shelters have already returned to their homes. At the height of the storm, there were over 1,300 people in our shelters, and as of midday today, that number had declined to 369. We closed our Wedgefield shelter earlier today. An additional 9 of the 11 general population shelters that we opened will close tonight at 5 p.m. The general population shelters at Apopka High School and Oak Ridge High School will remain open until tomorrow for those who still need shelter. Orange County government is here to take care of our citizens. Due to the storm, however, we closed Orange County government for normal operations, but we expect to reopen for normal businesses after Friday. We will be closed tomorrow on Friday for normal business. In addition to Orange County, the Chief Judge of the Ninth Judicial Circuit, Chief Judge Lisa Munyon, announced that the circuit courts within Orange and Osceola County will be closed for today and Friday. We are continuing to use our building safety experts to go out and do assessments of the damage across Orange County. The teams are made up of licensed building and electrical inspectors who will determine if the building is safe to inhabit or if it needs repairs. Public Works continues to work throughout our community, addressing the flooding issues and other issues. We have a number of traffic signals that are out. We have a number of pump stations that are on generator power. They're working to restore all of that over time. In the next few days, as you watch what happens within our community, you're going to continue seeing some flooding, some localized flooding. Because as the water moves around, you're going to see some of the retention ponds and other areas. You're going to continue to see water rising within our community. So we still have a lot of work to do from a public works perspective to take care of all of that. There are some amount of flooding reported along the Reams Road area near the Floridian Way, as well as at the intersection of Reams Road, Paquette Road, and Summer Lake Park Boulevard. We will start a pumping operation in the next few hours, and we will be setting up barricades and related traffic control in that particular area. Due to the Shingle Creek overflowing its banks in the Bunny Brook area, there is some street and structural flooding in that area. Once Shingle Creek recedes below its banks, we will be able to pump water out of the Bunny Brook subdivision. Public Works crews will be out in the community tomorrow, continuing to assess any areas that have experienced flooding. We're working with our utilities companies. You're going to hear from them in just a few moments. However, the Orlando Utilities deployed crews at sunrise to assess their systems, and they are reporting that there were no outages or advisories concerning boiling water. I also want to talk about our landfill. After repairs, the Orange County landfill and transfer stations should reopen at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Due to public health and safety concerns stemming from emergency conditions, only residential garbage, those are the green lids if you're in the unincorporated areas, will be collected when curbside collection resumes in areas that are accessible on Friday, tomorrow, October 11th, and Saturday, October 12th. We'll be picking up garbage only on those days. Customers whose trash is normally picked up on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday should plan to set out their garbage green lids again by 6 a.m. tomorrow. Regular collection services are planned to resume starting on Monday, October the 14th. Yard waste collection will be delayed due to post-storm volume. We're working with our debris contractors and others to hopefully pick up all of the yard waste type of materials as soon as we possibly can. You're going to hear from Fire Chief Fitzgerald as well. He's going to share with you some information about some of the responses that our fire personnel were engaged in. I also want to give our residents a bit of advice at this point, and this is something that we see after storms. There are reports and organizations and individuals across Florida who have been targets of cybersecurity threats exploiting relief efforts in the aftermath of Hurricane Milton. Consumers should be on the lookout for phishing attacks. This is with your email accounts, etc., and malicious files disguised as FEMA documents. You typically will not get a cold contact from a FEMA representative that you have not initiated yourself. So be really careful about those who will try to access your personal information under the guise that they are officials from either federal or state organizations. If you don't initiate the contact, you're not in one of their specific offices, you're not in one of our county facilities or other governmental facilities to access those services, it likely is a phishing scam that is intended to get your information. Orange County's mosquito control reminds residents that as we clean up from the storm, be mindful of standing water and how it can attract mosquitoes. I know that Orange County years ago used to be Mosquito County, but we've come a long way from that period of time now, but we still take care of the mosquitoes in our county to ensure that our residents do not have any undue exposure to mosquito-borne illnesses. Also, please take any containers in your yard that have water in them. Please dump the water out. All right. Orange County has seen an influx of evacuees from the west coast of Florida. They are visitors here within our community. They're staying within our hotels. In fact, Visit Orlando reports that Orange County's 103,000 hotel rooms are experiencing high occupancy rates, but hotel rooms do remain available. It is recommended that those in need of rooms use a third-party booking site like Expedia or Booking.com to assess the available rooms. Our area's theme parks, Disney, Universal, and SeaWorld, plan to resume normal operations tomorrow. So that is good news for our community. Our convention center continues to work around the clock. We had a number of pre-positioned assets for the state and other entities that were at our convention center. We lost a couple of smaller shows that had about 4,500 attendees, so we had a loss of revenue related to some of that. But our convention center will return to full business and occupancy in just a day or so. Lynx has advised that they will resume modified bus service. There is no neighbor Link service, however, for today. Regular service will resume tomorrow morning for both bus and neighborhood Link. You can go to lynx.com for more details on that. The Greater Orlando Aviation Authority has informed us that the Orlando International Airport will resume outbound passenger service tomorrow. Information on the airport's reopening times will be shared with you soon. At this point, I'm going to ask Congressman Soto to come up and share some words with you from a federal perspective, and then we will engage others who are present this morning. All right, Congressman Soto, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners, Representatives, for all your help. Mostly, thank you to our first responders, Sheriff Mina and our deputies, as well as our firefighters. Chief, thanks for all you all are doing, too. There you are. Thanks, Chief. We also thank our EMTs, our linemen. We'll hear from our utility companies very soon. And also thanks to all of our public works folks and environmental protection folks who will be working over the next couple days to help as we recover from Hurricane Milton. We know that Orange County sustained significant damage in different areas, and we heard the mayor go into that. And this is something very personal. It'll affect all of us, but if it's affecting your property or your place of work, your business, or your public facility, you'll feel it more than others. And so I just want to say very clearly, we're here to help everyone in Orange County who is facing distress because of Hurricane Milton. We're going to be working with FEMA. Given the reports of damage so far, we will do everything we can to make Orange County eligible for all the categories possible, from A through F for FEMA, whether it's debris removal or reimbursement for first responders to public infrastructure. And we'll also be working to try to qualify us for individual assistance as well. We'll also work with FEMA, should those be granted, to get a center here again in Orange County so people can apply directly either online or in person at their convenience. There's generally a 60-day period for that. Do not wait. I know we had a facility at Barnett Park last time that was and other areas that were very helpful. We want to make sure that everyone heeds the mayor's call that you contact FEMA first. They're not going to contact you. We want to make sure that everybody gets relief and doesn't fall victim to different scams. And so let me end where I began. Thank you so much, Mayor, Commissioners, and thank you to our first responders for all that they're doing. And we'll be working nonstop for the next 48 hours to get us qualified for as much reimbursement as we can with FEMA. And thanks for having me.
Fire Chief.
Good afternoon. I'm Jim Fitzgerald, Orange County Fire Chief. First off, I want to use this opportunity to tell you how proud I am of the men and women of Orange County Fire Rescue, not only for the work that they do every single day, but especially the work last night in perhaps the most difficult weather conditions that I have seen in my 45 years of service. The men and women of this organization put their lives on the line last night and responded to automobile accidents, to flooding incidents, making sure that those that needed our assistance got the help that they needed. And that didn't stop. At first light this morning, the men and women of this organization made their way out into the community. They're still out visiting all of the communities within Orange County, making sure that they can assist removing debris from roadways, assisting residents clearing their driveways so that they have access. And then one of the other programs that I'm extremely pleased with and thankful for, that has to do with the Office of the Fire Marshal. This morning, our fire inspectors visited 74 assisted living facilities and nursing homes. These are our most vulnerable citizens. And we do a face-to-face visit to make sure that they have adequate power and or generators to make sure that their needs are being taken care of. And I'm extremely happy about that program. And the last thing I'd like to say is I truly want to thank the leadership of Orange County, Mayor Demings, and each of our commissioners for making sure that we have the tools, the equipment, and the personnel necessary to respond to incidents like we did last night. We could not do it as a fire department if we did not have the incredible support from the leadership team of Orange County. Mayor Demings, thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
All right, first of all, I just want to caveat what the chief said. I want to personally thank the mayor for always being out front and keeping the residents, the employees, and the tourists of Orange County always safe and in the forefront. Just to expand on what the mayor said about our impacts here to Orange County, our sustained wind was 56 miles an hour. That's actually some pretty strong wind for Orange County. Now, the airport, we experienced gusts of 87 miles an hour. The Orlando Executive Airport experienced gusts of 74 miles an hour, and Animal Kingdom around that area experienced gusts around 70 miles an hour. Again, those are some pretty significant winds. As far as our rain totals, the mayor said we ranged anywhere from 12 inches to 6 inches, the highest being on the west side. Winter Garden ranged from 10.8 inches. Apopka had 9.92 inches. Vislo had 7.29 inches, and Wedgefield had 6.21 inches. One thing the mayor mentioned also was the FEMA fraud. I got one of those fraud messages about 2 days ago, and I know of the fraud messages because I know FEMA's not going to give me $2,400 just by contacting them. So with that being said, the official FEMA website is disasterassistance.gov. So once again, the official FEMA website is disasterassistance.gov, or you can call 1-800-621-3362. One other thing I want to mention, the mayor said we got flooding. You may not have flooding or experience flooding now, but once those rivers start to rise and crest, the water level is going to increase. So if you see water on the highway, it may look like 2 to 3 inches. It may turn out to be 2 to 3 feet. So if you see water, turn around, don't drown. Generators, 20 feet from your house. If you have to refuel, wait 20 minutes. And if you're worrying about somebody stealing your generator, chain it to a tree or something. We want to mention that as well. You can also stay up to date with the most recent notifications if you download the OCFL Alert app. And with that, I want to turn it over to Ms. Logan Stewart from Duke.
Good afternoon. Logan Stewart with Duke Energy. As of 3 p.m. today, Duke Energy Florida is reporting approximately 958,500 power outages across our service territory following Hurricane Milton's landfall overnight. More than 91,000 customers in Orange County were impacted by the storm. Duke Energy Florida has begun what is anticipated to be a lengthy restoration process. Today, our crews are assessing damage to our infrastructure and equipment in areas where weather and road conditions allow. And this process, I should note, can be impacted by flooding, as you've heard from others up here. This is a critical first step in the overall power restoration process. Duke Energy focuses on restoring power as safely and quickly as possible. It does so in a sequence that begins with public health and safety facilities while also considering how to restore the greatest number of customers as safely and as soon as possible. As individuals begin to leave their homes when they are safely able to do so, and I've seen some of that today out on the roads, or when they return from out of town to their homes, we would like to ensure they keep the following safety tips in mind. Please consider all power lines and trees, limbs, or anything in contact with power lines to be energized and dangerous. Please stay away from downed power lines in areas that may be hiding lines, such as floodwater and debris. This includes letting your kids swim, jump in floodwaters, and letting your pets walk around floodwaters. You just want to be careful in those areas. If a power line falls across a car that you're in, stay in the car. If you must get out of the car due to a fire or other immediate life-threatening situation, do your best to jump clear of the car and land on both feet. Be sure that no part of your body is touching the car when your feet touch the ground. If you have a power outage, you can report it by visiting duke-energy.com, by using the Duke Energy mobile app, by calling 800-POWER-ON, or by texting OUT, OUT, to 57801. For the most up-to-date information about power outages, you can access those on Duke Energy's real-time outage map or by enrolling in our outage alerts. For those customers who cannot receive power as a result of damage to the property's meter base, breaker panel, or customer-owned electrical wiring, you should contact your local municipalities for guidance. Inspections may be required after repairs are complete. Finally, from all of us at Duke Energy, we would like to ensure that these next few days, especially, that our customers make safety a priority. We know this is a challenging time, and we thank you for your patience as our crews to get all the lights back on. And especially want to thank Mayor Demings and this group up here. They've been fantastic to work with. Thank you very much. And I will turn it over to Luz Aviles with OUC.
Thank you very much, Logan. Hurricane Milton, as we know, delivered heavy rain and high winds and some flooding to the central Florida area overnight, and it resulted in 88,557 OUC customers overall losing power at the height of the storm. There were no major water incidents reported. We are diligently working to restore power, and currently in Orange County, as about an hour ago, we had 46,568 customers still without power. As soon as Milton winds slowed down and our safety teams determined it was safe for crews to travel this morning, we deployed a mix of assessors and restoration crews to begin our efforts out in the field. Assessors will take approximately 48 hours determining the impact to our system and use that information to determine system-wide estimated times of restoration. Power restoration teams.
At Taco John's, you can expect one thing: so good. As in quality ingredients used in tacos and burritos made just for you. Every single bite.
So good.
Expect nothing less at Taco John's.